Before I continue on to the idiocy in media when it pertains to the Senate, the fact that none of them have any actual evidence backing up what they are saying, and yet they act as if they have all the evidence backing them up what they are saying. I want to take a moment, and yes, please excuse the language, but I think it fits. I want to talk about the scum fucks that are Tennessee Senate, to be more specific. But the fact that this is a thing, that this is even beginning to be a thing that is happening, disgusts me to my very core, and it should disgust most of you. Tennessee's Don't Say Gay bill would require teachers to out their students. In other words, the bill that was thrown out because it was unconstitutional is not only back, it's back and it's worse than ever. It's got improvements. Language in the bill also appears to endorse counselors or counseling for students who are at risk of being LGBT. So at a time when somebody is in the midst of sexual development, they're not sure if they like the penis, they're not sure if they like the vagina, they're not even sure if they want to be sexual at all, speaking of the asexuals. But no, if we say gay, it's like if a gay person sneezes on you, because then you catch the gay. But merely saying or talking about homosexuality can make somebody gay, because that's how that works. That's how human sexuality works. Never mind all of the examples of homosexuality that we have seen in nature that are almost too numerous to mention, though if you're that curious, Google it. But no, we've got to then have teachers be allowed, deputized, required by Tennessee law to report if the child is gay or at risk for being gay, and then counseling for those who are at risk for being gay, or LBGT to be more exact, because anything that's outside the realm of what we consider socially acceptable, that whole, what's the word I've been coining lately? Social morality, aka mob morality. If it doesn't fit that, then it's wrong. Then it's unnatural, despite the fact that, once again, we see homosexuality in nature. But no, it's completely unnatural. Therefore, we're going to do everything that we can to create a sex negative as well as a LBGT negative state. We want these people eradicated. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? I misspoke. You're taking my words out of context here. When I speak of breeding these people out of existence, I'm not trying to advocate for a Hitler-esque sort of state. No. Because you just got to understand, you know, this offends God. That right there, that is an act against our good Lord and his son, the baby Jesus, who gave unto himself so that this might not ever happen, or this, this don't work. Okay, the equipment, it don't work. God made a plug and a socket. Okay, God's natural design. Okay, this here, that's nature. That's what you homosexuals don't get. That's not nature. That that's not nature. God doesn't make mistakes. Okay, especially for you transvestites there, you trannies out there. Yeah, I am appalled that you would dare to call my creator's designs for your body and your specifications into question here. What we got here is a runaway train of bad parenthood. They're teaching this tolerance crap, and they're openly defying and disrespecting my Lord by calling his design into question, by saying this is natural and this here, no, that's not natural, at least not to them homosexual agendaists. Oh my freaking God. If you thought that you'd heard the last of Tennessee's Don't Say Gay bill after state lawmakers abandoned the legislation last year, think again. It's back, and it's awful. The measure still prohibits elementary and middle school teachers from disclosing sexual activity that is not related to natural human reproduction, or even acknowledge that homosexuality exists. Lovely, Because you thought I was joking, I was being facetious when I talk about how social morality is all built around the idea that sex is for procreation, in terms of the sex and sexuality portion of things. That to repress one's sexuality, whether homo or hetero, because remember, if you're having too much sex, even if it's for procreation, you're a slut or a whore. And remember, there's no such thing as a man whore, because for men there's different rules, because that's fair. That's how Gao designed it. I'm appalled, to say the least. I don't, outside of just simply calling this legislation and those who support it as scumfucks, pardon my language, isn't even strong enough to truly appreciate just how absolutely disgusting the individuals who are proposing this are. At risk of being LBGT? Are you seriously kidding me? Oh, right, because it's a choice. Because most of you out there, you remember the day when you were brought before the Council of Humanity and you were asked to make a choice, and you chose to be heterosexual, right? I mean, I remember it like it was just yesterday for me. And so then you want to take kids who are confused enough as it is, trying to navigate, do I like penis? Do I like vagina? Do I like both? Do I like neither? And you want to then throw in more turbulence, more tension, and throw more turmoil into their lives when they've already got people shooting at their schools, you got people messing with their trying to mess with their entertainment, you got people telling them that almost everything about them is wrong and that everything was better in the old days, and on and on and on. And now, you remember the old days, right? Where we could legally incarcerate you for being gay or kill you for being gay, and those good old days, the days of fire and brimstone, sermons from the pulpit where not going to church was an offense, that was deemable by incarcerations and things of this nature. The idea that you're either in church or you're going to hell. Because yes, going to church automatically makes you a good Christian, or going to synagogue automatically makes you a good Jew, or so on and so forth. Why is this needed? How? Tell me, Tennessee. I'm serious. Anyone from Tennessee, especially if you promote, if you are for this, tell me this. At what point has homosexuality in your state affected you directly? I'm not talking about society at large. I'm not talking about the economy, the government, anything nationally. In your city, in your state, in your particular place, how has homosexuality up to this point negatively affected your life? If you cannot answer this, then answer me then why this is necessary, what you hope to gain through this legislation, how this will improve your state, your city, your particular life, and the circumstances of how homosexuality has impacted your life.